I think I am actually live on YouTube now also. Yeah, sorry for this, guys. Bear with me. Hello, Mike, James. Hello, Steven from Seattle, or Steve. I think I am actually live on YouTube now also. Yeah, sorry for this, guys. Yeah, that was my own voice I could hear there. And Alex from Copenhagen. All right, so we have, if not one, then two. If not two, at least then one Dane and one from Denmark. Let's see here, and let's go through. Now it's 2 minutes past 7, and let me just greet all the newcomers. Hello, Andy, Byrne. Hello, Derek. Hello, Adrian. Hello, Alex. Hello, Anna Ashmore. Brian Ebbesen. Hi, Brian. Hello, Brian. Cindy, Cornell, George, Greg, Jay Turner, Jim Tendick, LC Winford, Michael Mallory, hello Mike James, Richard Johnson, Rob Griffin, Robert Donald, Rocat, Scott Warr, Simon White, Steve Erickson, Stephen Chair, Timmy Leanda. Hello guys to all of you. And I guess that what Anna Ashmore is trying to say is she's trying to say hello everyone. So hello Anna, and cheers to you, Simon. And yeah, hell yeah, yeah. So let's Scott Walker. Hey, everyone's from sunny Idaho. And hello, Robert. Yeah, congrats and great attendance. Yeah, that's always nice to see a lot of faces. Houston, Texas. Awesome. That's where NASA lives, or parts of NASA anyway. And let's see, if you want to drop a hello in the chat, please do that. So now I did not try this before, so I don't know why when I go to my YouTube channel, why I cannot see this live stream, because I can see that I'm actually streaming it from Zoom, but I don't know. And Cornell is from South Africa. And Brian is from Kolding, Denmark. It's more or less 200 kilometers south of where I am in. And Deepak is hello, Deepak from India. Nils Bruits, close to Kruger Park. All right, Clement, are you more or less ready to go?
I am ready to go.
You're ready to go. Okay. So then I will I will give an introduction. Hello, George from Budapest, Hungary. Okay, so I will give an introduction to schemawriter and to you, and then I will hand over the microphone to you, Clement. So let me record. Hello, guys. So welcome to the webinar about on-page SEO using schemawriter and Chatgpt. So joining me today is Clement Vidic, the mathematical super genius and genius in automated link building and on-page SEO and schema also. So he's more or less SEO super genius. And before I hand over the microphone to Clement, I would like to go over what is schemawriter and also give a little bit of introduction to Clement. So let me see here. Let me share my screen. Doot. All right. So I made a small PowerPoint, and can you see my screen now? Just want to make sure that I'm sharing it. Okay, thank you. Okay, so question is, for those of you that did not or does not use SchemaWriter, so what is schemawriter.ai? So SchemaWriter is an automated schema tool. So it's a platform that's meant to save you time. So all of the things, or almost all of the things that SchemaWriter does, you can actually do that in hand. But if you have been writing schema files in hand, you also know how time consuming it can be. It can take half a day, 2 days to write out a complete, on-page, local business schema and web page schema and YouTube, the video schema, and all of those schema files. It can take a day or two for the advanced and very comprehensive schema files. So what SchemaWriter does is that it's based on a search term. It then reverse engineers your competitors, your top competitors, when we're using the Google Search API for that. So we get it correctly. And then we identify all of the entities that your website has and your competition has. And then we write out the complete schema files using these entities that we found, the business information that you entered when you set the system up, and then OpenAI. So we are using OpenAI for parts of the schema writing. And so at the top of all of this that we're doing in SchemaWriter is entity recognition. So just an entity is a special type of keyword that can be a person, place, or thing. And the entities that we are recognizing inside of SchemaWriter are all of the keywords, the entities that has their own Wikipedia page. Now, Google has more than one type of entity. So they have image entities and they have other types of entities. But in essence, an entity is a special type of keyword that is connected to other keywords in a database. So in contrast to the old school keyword or the old school search term, an entity is only defined in its correspondence and relationship to other entities. So that's what sets an entity apart from a keyword, is that an entity is only defined in relation to other entities. So we are writing the schema files, and we are also defining the so-called entity gap. And the entity gap is something that we're using when we are. I'm not going to talk much about this because I think I might be overlapping what Clement is going to talk about now. But the entity gap is based on your search term. For example, if you search for tree service Alabama, or if you search for automated web page schema or SEO optimization in London or something like that, then we recognize, in this example, we recognize 5 entities in your website. We then recognize 4 entities, this is just an example, in your competition's websites. And then the entity gap in this case is the entities that you see here, 1, 2, 3. We have 3 entities in the entity gap here. And the entity gap, they are entities that your competition has. And remember, you're searching in Google for example, search engine optimization in London. So the top 10 competition websites, if they have these 3 entities, they might be very relevant to put into your content. But we don't stop there, because we also identify the Google entities. So what we're trying to achieve with SchemaWriter is we're trying to rank higher in Google. And Google understands your search term in a particular way. They use their own NLP, their neuro-linguistic programming, their knowledge graph databases, and they're using a lot of proprietary technology in order to understand the search term that you put into Google. And we know that they use the entities. So we know that they use the entities in my website, your website. We know that they check out the competition websites in order to find out where you rank. But sometimes it might actually be that the understanding that Google has is greater than what you have and what your competition has. So you can see here that we actually have, in this example, we have 4 Google entities, and 3 of these entities are not present in your website, and they're not present in your competition websites. So if you're only looking at your entities and your competition entities to identify the entity gap, the entities that you have to put into your content in order to rank, you might be, and you actually are probably missing out on optimization possibilities using the Google entities. And we have them in the report in the back end, and the report looks like this. Is just a screenshot that I just made before I started this video. So I have made a report for the keyword web page schema, and then I have my the content from my homepage, which is schemawriter.ai. So you can see here, this is the content that we are scraping. And on the right side, you can see the entities that we detected to be relevant in order or for the search term. So you can see the entities that we detected, and on the keywords tab, where my mouse is hovering now, we have the Yake keywords. The Yake keywords are another class of keywords. It's not entities. It might be entities, but it's probably not entities. And Yake is based on it's an abbreviation for yet another keyword extraction method, and it's based on frequency, position, and and some other mathematical and statistical factors. And so when we are doing our scraping, we are scraping 10 pages of content, and then we are extracting the entities, and we're extracting the Yake keywords. The Yake keywords also have a strong correlation to ranking as well as the entities. So you need both the entities and the Yake keywords. You could also call Yake keywords related keywords, or those kinds of keywords. So because it is kind of like related keywords that are not entities. So I think that's about it for me now. So I want to give the word now to Clement Vidic. And Clement Vidic, he is a master of mathematical physics. And stop me if I'm saying something that's not correct, Clement. You are a master of mathematical physics, right?
No, I only have bachelor degree. I have masters in finance.
Okay, so he's a bachelor in mathematical physics, and he has a master in finance. And Clement is a master of automated link building and also advanced on-page SEO. And I watched Clement speak 2 times. I had the pleasure to watch Clement speak 2 times last year, both in the X SEO conference here in Denmark, in Aalborg, and also at the Dark AI conference also last year in Chicago. And Clement is an excellent presenter, and overall super duper nice guy. And he's also a course creator now. So Clement, he just launched not so long ago the course ranking with schema, and I'll put once I hand over the presentation to you, Clement, I'll put the link to his course in the chat, and I think it's $79 or something like that. I purchased his course, and I encourage you to purchase. It's super cheap, and he gives away many of his secrets for ranking. So those are the words from me, Clement. So
thank you.
I will stop sharing if I can figure out how to do that. Let's see here. Stop share. And I will hand over the presentation to you. Hold on. There you are.
So maybe before I get the access to the screen sharing, I could just tell a quick joke, because you see in the SEO world, you frequently heard the sentence, correlation is not causation. And I will give you a real life example. Maybe you didn't know, but 49 old women are statistically prone to have more accidents with a car. So, and of course, it's not about the sex. For sure, women are not are better drivers than the males. Of course, it's also not about the age, because there's nothing particular about the 49 years. But statistically, if we observe 49 years old women, we may experience the higher chance of getting an accident. Of course, there is the real reason behind the 49 years females usually have the second car in the family, and they also have kids that just start to learning how to drive. So it's not about the 48 years old women. It's about the kids starting to learn how to drive the car. But that's also, I mean, just to give you the parallel for the SEO, sometimes if we see something, if we see some correlation, sometimes it's a causation and something it's the real factor, and sometimes it's not. Sometimes it's just the random, or sometimes all the SEOs are using the same program, and that's why they are getting the same results, and that's why when we compare their pages, we observe the same factors. So that's just and I'm saying this because of the two things. Specifically for entities, if sometimes if we put too many entities on the page, we could have something like entity pollution. So if we are putting on the page non-relevant entities, we are polluting, we are diluting our content, and Google gets confused, and that doesn't help us. So when we are getting to the entities, it's not just about the quantity, it's also about the quality or the relevance. Okay, so let me try to share my screen. Okay. So okay. So I would like to present you how I'm working, how I'm writing an article, and I will present it on a keyword AI detection remover. This is my test site that I was using for the on-site for on-page SEO tests. And well, basically, I will just show you how I'm going to write the article. Also, what's interesting about this keyword is that a year ago, when I was running some keyword tests, there was a big difference between the entities and LSI. LSI are the keywords that are statistically found on pages that are serving this keyword. So, for example, if we would analyze the web pages covering this keyword, LSI are the most frequent words that we would find using statistical analysis, whereas entities are, as Jesper explained before, they are the entities, the person, thing, animal. And for this keyword, the entities were much different than the LSI. As a result, if you are using the tools like MarketMuse, Phrase, Surfer, Neuron Writer, these are all the tools that are using LSIs for optimization. They are using different algorithms. Jesper mentioned Yake. There are also TD-IDF, BM25, different algorithms. If I would be using this in order to create the content, I would have content that is rich with LSI, but it's a content that is poor with entities. And I can assure you that such content would not rank. So that's why we are using entities, because they are really bringing additional power. Also, if you know that Chatgpt has a software, on-page software, Cora, and if you go to his webpage, topseofactors.com, he's declaring the most important SEO factors. And we could see that the number of distinct entities is one of the most important SEO factors. The number of unique LSI words, it's also. And it's probably, this is probably also Yake, because we can just see that Yake, as of 10th of April, the number of distinct Yake words is no longer SEO factor, which I personally believe is just an error in the software. Because on the 10th of March, it was very important. You see, on the 10th of March, it has the correlation 36%. And now, and that is more than the number of distinct entities. So I do believe that Yake words are very important, and it's just an error in the software. So if you have entities and if you have Yake words, you are really well covered. So the first thing I'm doing when I'm starting writing article, the first thing is I'm running schemawriter. Oh, by the way, I'm also using schemawriter for on-page optimization. So not just for the schema, but also for the on-page optimization. So, I mean, for me, when I'm talking about the schemawriter, in my head, it's the on-page. Schema is just the bonus part for me. First time, I'm running the report without any target URL. And then I'm going through entities. And in these entities, you see, I can promote an entity to be about or to be just mentioned. The entities that are in the about are the entities that are the most important for the article. And we should select a couple of them. We should not pollute. So we should not list entity in the about section if it's not mentioned into the content. It needs to be mentioned into the content. It's good if it's on the H2 or H3 title. So if it's just something that's not that important, I would put it into the mention. And of course, I can also delete it. For example, bit, I don't think this, or maybe we could find some keyword that is not important. For example, Sesotho. Sesotho is a language in Africa, so we could remove it. For example, for JavaScript, maybe we can leave it in mention. For sure, it's not in the about section, but it's in the mention section. So it pays that we are going through this list. For example, FAQ is not that important. And once we have cleaned the list, once we are end with the relevant entities, then here in the content, we can download the entity get. So this is the list of all entities that we can include into the article. And as Jesper said before, I'm also doing a lot of the automated building. In the automated building, I would just create an article in single in a single sorry. For the automated building, I would create article in the single pass, and I would add all the entities inside. It's when I'm writing the article, for example, you can add the SEO entities either by just adding this line add semantic entities, Or as alternative, you can also put something like add keywords and then add the list from the schema writer. So, for example, if you put this code into the Chatgpt, it will add a lot of the entities. Also, the content will become much better. So these are the small trick. Recently, I have found out that Gemini, it sometimes produces better content than ChatGPT. It's, for example, AI detection remover is requiring an exact language. It would be different if we would be trying to sell lipstick. If we would be trying to sell lipstick, maybe we need some poetic, some hype language where we would describe the nuances of the new color, create some dreamy, some kind of a dreamy language would be nice. But if we want to talk about the statistical analysis describing how to remove AI detection, or how to basically, if for such more scientific approach, we need a less fluffy language. And I'm finding Gemini better than ChatGPT. Also, I'm a big fan of Stanspot. This is the guy that is having a Discord, and I'm using his Nova Ultimate AI Assistant and also the content. So basically, for the $20, you can get really good. And you can really improve the ChatGPT or Gemini. So, for example, I'm putting here the content and that costs $3, and I'm putting here the Nova that costs $15. And it would be similar to the Gemini. So if I would be, in order to start writing the article, I would just put the content. And then I would also put the Nova assistant. That is my base level. That's my base level for the ChatGPT and also for Gemini. Is it necessary? I don't know. You be the judge. Then the next step is for the money side. I will always write the articles paragraph by paragraph because it's better. And in order to create the outline, I will simply go to the web. I will browse for the top 3 websites, and I will ask the chat to read the websites, and then I will ask him to produce the outline. So I will just basically, I could just search for the AI detection remover and find a couple of the web pages and ask them to read. So I will, for example, just a second.
Clement?
Yeah, yes.
Would it be possible for you to, okay, so you're showing us now. What you just mentioned, that you're going to Google and then asking the chat to rewrite. I would like to actually see that.
Yeah, I'm here, I'm writing read following pages and the reply ready when done. And now he's going to go to each page and read the page.
So now Gemini is reading these 3 or 4 pages, yes, and then it's so that it knows what they are about.
Yes. And then in the next step, I will ask Gemini to write the outline. So here, for example, I ask write outline for article regarding AI detection remover. And I specify that I want outline of 10 headers with 3 subheaders. I'm always using this use Hemingway rules, but do not mention Hemingway. Kind of good. Also, I want to be exact and to check the facts. So this is, I want to be exact and I want to be factual. And I also want to reduce the fluff. So I don't want fluff. I want to be factual. I want to be exact. That, of course, if I would be talking about the lipstick, it would be different. But if I'm talking about the cryptocurrency or if I'm talking about the AI detection, then I need to be exact, factual, and I want to eliminate hype and fluff. Also, I want to use SEO best practices, and I want to add semantic entities. Like I said before, there are 2 ways to add semantic entities. This is the automatic way. And the second way is to add keywords from schemawriter. So I think that at the beginning, it's better to give AI more freedom to add semantic entities automatically. And at the end, when for the last couple steps, it's better to check the entity gap and to exactly pinpoint which entities you want to add. So here we have the outline that's pretty much reasonable. It's introduction. Then it's how AI detection works. Okay, this is a little mushy AI detection remover landscape. Here maybe we could, instead of this section, we could present a couple of the leading AI detection solutions. Then another good section, can they truly bypass detection? This is the question regarding does the AI detection remover works or AI humanization if they are working? Then we have limitations and ethical concerns. Alternatives, future, and the conclusion. And I think this is a pretty good outline. Then once the outline is done, I can also start, then I would start writing the paragraph. And the first paragraph, I would just ask them to start writing introduction. Again, so I would here write introduction for the above article. So now the chat has outline of the article. So if I say write introduction for above article, the chat knows which article I'm talking about. And again, I'm specifying that I want it to use Hemingway rules, that I want them to be exact, factual. I want to minimize the fluff, and I want to downplay the hype. Jesper, do you remember the text like in the realm of AI detection?
Yep.
Yeah, that's a fluff. That's hype. This use a dry, non-emotional rewrite with perfect grammar. This will remove those kind of hype sentences.
Very good.
Yeah, and if there is one place where I would use Gemini over ChatGPT, it would be introduction, because I always see in ChatGPT, I see this overly hyped introduction in the landscape of the AI detection, in the realm of the AI detection, which is nobody speaks like that. Okay, so the rise of artificial intelligence has brought with it a new challenge: content detection. AI-powered tools can now identify text written by machines. However, a counter technology has emerged: AI detection removers. I think it's a pretty good. It's a pretty good, and so I kind of like it, and I can start writing an article. Also, I can start putting an article into the schema writer to see how many entities I'm getting. And you will see that pretty soon you're getting quite a lot. Okay, so now that I have written the introduction, I can proceed to the first paragraph. I'm using the same section, the same prompt, only instead of writing introduction for about article, I'm now saying write section below. So let's say that we will start with the first paragraph. For me, this is introduction and this is the first paragraph. So I will just say write section below, and I have copy pasted the second section. I can also, let me just try something. I'm going to put that into the Google Doc. Because I would like to keep the formatting. Good. So now he knows these two are the lower headlines than this. Okay. Now the trick is, in order to make AI much better, we can fit AI with the context, with the background. And the best way is to find a blog that talks about the same keyword and copy contents of the web page and put it into the background. Now, this will not be the rewrite. You are familiar with rewrite, paraphrase. We are not asking AI to reparaphrase the text. We are asking AI to use this text as a background information. And this will help. Actually, we'll see, even if we put a small amount of text into the background, the AI will produce more info. The output of AI will be much broader. So, for example, here we have a key question: how AI detection works. And I can just go to the Google, and well, I could also use this, for example. I just happen to know that I found a website that is really good, and I can search for it. For example, I could say something like this: how AI detection works, site, and I can spot the article that talks about how do AI detectors work. I will just go there. Sorry. And I will just take this text. And I will put it here into use this content as a background. Again, we have the use Hemingway rules: be exact, check your facts, minimize the use of adjectives and adverbs. This is remove the fluff. And this is the minimize hype. Again, add these words. I could copy it from the schema writer, or I can ask to use put them automatically. And These are our words from the schema writer. So I can just copy them, put them inside, and it starts working.
Clement?
Yeah.
So this trick with using background information, I guess that's also what the SimWriter application is doing.
Yes, probably. Probably. It's really much better. It's really good.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, since you mentioned SimWriter, if you put these entities from the schema writer into the SimWriter, the output of SimWriter will be much better.
Yeah.
Okay, so you see, this is the text that we have put as the background. You see here, this is the text that we got. This is not a spin version of this text. It's not rewritten or reparaphrased version. It's completely different version that has taken this as kind of a background. Like this text has only been used to set the context. So the result is much better. Now it's a question if we want to take if we want to copy everything, or maybe. So here we have another paragraph. Sorry. And if you put here, do you see how many entities we are getting? Do you see this is before, this is after? This is, I mean, after we repeat the process for another paragraph, basically we have perfectly optimized article. So if I just copy paste the same approach, another important another important section is it effective, and the limitations and ethical concerns. And for example, we could also put this. And if we also add the background, so it would be so we have enough information. If I go to this site,
Clement, could you elaborate why you are searching for the Go Winston website?
okay, yes. So when we are doing the general search, let's say AI detection. Now the first one the first result is undetectable. Is it because it's the best content, or is it because undetectable is the most sold tool? Is it because of the brand, or is it because of the content? And then we have Smodin, which is another powerful brand. So for our work, we need something that is not powered due to the brand, but it's because of the content. And I'm trying to find something which is probably a little bit lower down, but it has more content, it has more information, it has a better blog. So let's say and we are trying, for example, you see here, this LinkedIn article will have much better content than undetectable. So I just spotted that this website has a lot of content. It has a lot of blog. It has a rich blog with many different articles, and it's an ample source of the relevant content. But I could also, for example, use this LinkedIn article or maybe Medium article.
Okay, so it's random. Yeah. It's because you just randomly discovered this Winston website.
Yeah, but I mean, if you will, when you're exploring the niche, when you eliminate the top 3 or 4 SERP results, which are due to the brand, because they are established brand, then you start finding these useful websites. So I'm just using this as a background, and again, I will use these words as entities.
Clement, what kind of pages, what kind of blog posts, what kind of niches can you use this procedure for?
I think it's general for everything. It's just that if you have more poetic niche, like for example, if you have lipstick or perfume, then you would use more poetic language. So for example, for sure, for the lipstick, you would not use the use dry, non-emotional rewrite with perfect grammar. This is remove hype instruction. So this is good for the finance, crypto, AI detection, things like that. If you're talking about the pets or the dog products or the lipsticks or something that has more feel or more where the feelings are involved, then you would use more hype. So for sure you would not use this instruction. Or maybe if the target is segment is 25 years old females, you would use the instruction like speak with a 25 years old female. So you kind of, for this niche, it's a be exact, check your facts, remove the fluff, and hype, tone down, reduce hype. This is reduce hype. But
so Clement, I guess that you're basically done with the because you can just continue to add more content and more. But So to summarize your overall procedure is that
maybe if you give me a couple minutes.
Yeah.
So yes, this now we could, but it's basically we are mostly done. I could repeat these steps 1 or 2 or 3 more times. Then I would basically create the page, and then I would run the schema writer again. So when I would put all the content on the page, I would run the schema writer again. This time I would specify my URL. Again, I would see what's my content gap. And one thing which I really love with the schema writer is I'm also getting these questions. These questions, they are good for the FAQ schema, but they are also really good for the optimization. You know, this, I mean, basically, this is the final touch. Once you also add these questions, you basically, you have a perfect score. If you would run the Quora report after you add these questions, that you're basically done. And I mean, the thing is also with the FAQ schema, if you want it to be effective, it also, the content needs to be on your page. So I'm also putting these questions on my page. So here they are, for example. And then, of course, at the end, here is the schema. So I'm taking this schema and I'm placing it on the WordPress. Usually I'm using the plugin Zenith SEO, which allows me to put it automatically, manually, but also any other SEO plugin is also okay. So that's in, and I'm almost stopped using Quora because this process is, I find it enough.
Yeah, I can see that you, when you're using the process like this, running the report, getting the entities, using Gemini,
Yes,
using background information from a couple of top websites, pasting it into schemawriter to check the optimization, using the FAQ questions that it produces. I can see that you're probably doing all that Quora is also asking you to do.
yes. But the thing is, I mean, with the Quora is if you start with the lousy content, it takes a lot of time to implement optimization. So by doing here, then the core optimization is much faster.
Are you having a question, Derek, or you just forgot to mute yourself? Ah, yeah, you didn't have a question. So a question from me, I can see there are a couple of questions, but how would you, because what you showed us now is you're creating a new article. You're creating an article for the keyword AI detection remover, and you intend to place it on a Google site. I can see the URL in the schema writer.
Yeah.
So, and you mentioned that Quora is time consuming because you're using Quora to optimize existing articles.
Yes.
So have you done any optimization on any existing articles using this method?
Of course. I mean, first of all, if you remember this, so if I use this section, let's say that you have existing article and that one section is not good. You can just write a new section, or you can also, for example, with this, let's say that we are talking, our article talks about the negative impact of AI detection. And if this is the negative sentiment, and if we feel that Google doesn't like negative sentiment, we can always say, rewrite above section in a positive note, speak about the advantages of the AI detection. So, for example, the disadvantages of non-effective AI detection removal are also the advantages of AI detection. So the same context, the same paragraph could be written in the negative sentiment, or it can be rewritten into the positive sentiment. I actually done that a couple days ago. I found extremely negative sentiment, and I just asked Google to rewrite. Also, if you provide this background information, the rewritten paragraph which will be much better. So, for example, if one of your paragraph is too thin, if it's just a couple of the sentences, so you can also put it like this. Here you have the old paragraph, and here you fit additional info. Competitor content, and it will write perfectly.
That's very clever. That's very clever.
Yeah,
I think. Yeah.
I actually had, when I was preparing for the lecture, I think actually one of my paragraph was too thin, and I asked to expand. You could also, for example, here. Okay, so I could just say expand above section regarding imperfect results. So I have expanded the content, specific content. This one, it has expanded.
That's clever.
Yeah.
I don't know if I asked you before, but is there an API to Gemini yet?
I think it is.
I see.
Yeah, and this is the standard free version, but I'm seriously thinking of upgrading to the paid.
So Cornell is asking, so can we use SimWriter instead of Gemini?
Of course, of course. No, I mean, actually, what I think is this process would be perfect for the SimWriter, because you would feed this outline into the SimWriter, and you would feed the entities into the SimWriter. So you have the best of the two worlds.
Yeah. I would say, Cornell, that I and we in the office, we only use ChatGPT now. We don't use SimWriter. We don't use anything else. Of course we use schemawriter, but for content we use only ChatGPT. And I can see that we have to use Gemini, because what you're showing us, Clement, is I can already see that the quality of the content in Gemini is different and in some ways superior to the quality of ChatGPT right out of the box.
Yes. In the ChatGPT, I was struggling with the introductions, because introductions were always super mushy.
So there was another question. Anna Ashmore is asking, will we get these prompts in the course?
I will, yes, I will, not yet, but I mean, I will rewrite, I will write additional chapters for the Gemini specifically. So yes, they will be there.
I know that, Anna, and if other of you are interested in Clement's course, he has a Facebook group attached to his course. So you might be able to share the document inside of the Facebook group.
Yeah, absolutely.
And Andy Byrne is asking, referring to Yake keywords being deprecated from top SEO factors, is this related to the latest Google update? And I replied to Andy, and I can reply so all of you hear it. It's not related to the latest Google update. It's related to Ted Kubaitis' way of doing statistics. Because you can see Yake keywords and many of the other factors, they jump in and out of top 100. And that's not because of Google, it's because of the way that he's doing his calculations, because the LSI keywords and the Yake keywords, it's extremely similar, or they are quite similar. So the LSI, many of the LSI keywords, latent semantic index keywords, are included in the bulk of the keywords that Yake detects to be topically relevant to the search term. So and Martin is asking, so we should add these to all Yake sites then in the global header. I'm not sure if Martin, if you're asking about the schema or the entities or what it is that, because I don't remember where we were at the. So Martin, if you're still here, if you could elaborate your question, I can see that you are still here. Simon is asking, can you put the link to your course here? And I will put it for you. It is here. So I pasted the link to Clement's course in the chat to everyone, for everyone to see. So yeah, sorry for interrupting, Clement. Just keep on talking, or if you have anything more to say, that is.
No, I'm just gonna sell one of your secrets. Regarding the Yaks, the thing is, I believe that the Google see the uniqueness of the page by observing the unique combination of entities. So I would not put the same entities on all Yaks pages. So for example, if you have a Yaks website with the 20 pages, do not put the same combination of entities inside on each page. However, Yaks already has functionality where you specify the file of entities, and then it randomly distributes the entities through internal pages, which is brilliant. And for Yaks, I mean, I'm also using this entity gap. I'm also using for the Yaks. I'm always putting this into the Yaks.
So Martin is asking, he's elaborating, can we add the schema from Schema Writer for each web page made in Yaks in the global header section? And I mean for one-page cloud sites. So I will reply to that. Yes, because the schema file from Schema Writer is much more elaborate than the schema produced inside of Yaks. I just, yesterday or today, we just added the knows about and the keywords and the rating for the local business and the awards fields inside of Schema Writer. So you now have almost complete. I'm almost done. Now I'm just missing the interlinked part for the homepage schema. But anyway, the short answer is yes, you can grab all of the schema produced by Schema Writer and put it into Yaks in the global header section, yes. And last week I made a video that I uploaded to the local SEO, to the two Facebook groups, the one for Yaks and the other for local SEO, where I show how to use the schema in the cloud stacks, the schema from Schema Writer in the cloud stacks. And it's not something that I talked about yet, but I have seen, since last week, I've seen extremely good results in the Google Business Profile in the match rankings by building just one cloud stack, using the Schema Writer and the entities from Schema Writer into the cloud stack. So, yep. Anything more, Clement?
No, that's from my side.
Jay is asking, does not every schema code necessary on a cloud site have to be unique per page? Well, uh, well, Yax produces unique schema, and it also produces unique web page schema. Produce unique web page schema for each page on the cloud sites, Jay. And so if you're talking about web page schema, of course, it has to be unique for each page, because that's the nature of the web page schema, that it is unique for that page. And that's is why when I'm doing the experiment that I did last week, the video that I did last week about using schemawriter schema on the cloud stack, I didn't use the web page schema, I used the local business schema, because I built a cloud stack of, I think what it was 80 pages, something like that. And you can't reuse the same web page schema on 80 pages because it has to be unique and different. So yeah. And Anna is asking, is Grok better than Gemini, or what's better, Grok, Gemini, or ChatGPT? What are you saying, Clement? What's better?
I haven't tried Grok yet, but it's a food for thought.
I haven't tried Grok either, so I can't say.
But we will try it.
We will try. And Simon is saying, great presentation. So to you, Clement, thank you for presenting. I agree. And Anna is asking, Jesper, whatever you did to increase the Google to the GMB, can you make a video on that? Yes, I actually did the video. I did it last week. I just didn't show you the results of the optimization, but yeah, you can actually just rewatch Anna the video I did last with the Loom video about the cloud stack, because I show exactly what I did there. All the details. I didn't do anything else than that. Jay, was that the recent video you just mentioned for cloud site for local? Last week, got it. Yes, Jay, it was the video from last week. So, any more questions, guys? Yeah. Jay is saying, great process, Clement. Thank you. And I also thank you, Clement. It was great to see your process. Super duper great. And we spent way too much time optimizing the details and producing super duper prompts. And I mean, you're just showing how fast can it be.
Yeah.
When I'm watching you produce this, I feel like you can produce top article in 10 minutes, 15 minutes.
Yeah, I think
Something
it's
like
something like that, yes.
Yeah. And you're getting praise. Cassandra is asking, it's my first time to join. Will we have a copy of the recording? Yes, it is recorded. And thank you for the presentation. You're getting a lot of praise, Clement.
Thanks.
People love your stuff. I did it too. So, well, thank you guys. I'll just stop with the recording now. I'll grab back the reclaim host. Yes. And good. All right, guys. Since I stopped the recording, can you guys check if it's still live on YouTube? Because I want to show you something that's not going to go on YouTube. Can you check, Clement, if it's still live on YouTube?
I don't know if I have the link on the YouTube.
Okay, let me just, can you see my screen?
Yes.
I'm sharing my screen. Clement, am I sharing my